Good morning, brothers and sisters. This is the voice of twisting. And what that simply means, it means when the government and media and big business come together, there is a twisting that they do. I've got several questions for you. And the reason why I have these questions is because I took time out today to go over the 10th Amendment, because someone had really brought that to my attention. And I have to say, I didn't know what I thought I knew. I always thought that the Senate and the House, they were there, but it seemed like we were serving them. Then when you read the 10th Amendment, you find out that they're supposed to serve us. They're the servants. It has been twisted. That's the problem. When things have been twisted, there is no truth in them. So this subject is called Big Government, Big Lie, No Truth. Because there's no truth in our government. And this goes back way before Obama. I need you to understand. It goes all the way back. A lie is a lie no matter who told it. It's not a little white lie. It's a lie. There is no truth in a lie. And I want you to understand that, because the government owns the media. Big business owns the government. I want you to really look at that. Really, honestly, take a look. Look at the Federal Reserve. We don't know nothing about it. Nothing. We can't even audit the Federal Reserve. I don't even know why it's called the Federal Reserve. Because if we can't do anything about it and know who's over it, who owns it, and how much money is there, then why is it called the Federal Reserve? Again, it's because we never watched what was going on. We had one hand on us and the other hand over our eyes, and we kept marching forward. Well, no more. Absolutely 100% no more. I want to bring some truth to something. Now, during the 1920s, there was a town in Tulsa. It was called Black Wall Street or Beverly Hills. They were wealthy people. Wealthy. These 6 men had private planes. I'm not talking about renting a plane. They own 6 private planes on their own, not from the government. And these gentlemen were black. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you how good a media can twist something so wrong, so horrible, that it lead to such devastation and death. This is the media. This is why you can't trust them. The media leaked something out that wasn't the truth. And then they put the most horrible thing in the paper, which caused a riot. Now, during this riot, I want you to understand that the newspaper had put out. It was because of the newspaper not knowing the truth and put out a lie and caused a whole neighborhood to go up in flames. Nor did it go up in flames. They were shot, they were killed, they were lynched, they were beat. But that wasn't enough. They got airplanes. Police, by the way, had airplanes. And they got up there and they dropped nitroglycerin and dynamite on the town, obliterating this town, this once thriving town. So don't tell me a government can't be wrong. Because it was. The media was wrong. Government was wrong. But I'll tell you this. It was not about being black. It was not about being white. It wasn't about anything like that. Everyone likes to say, oh, it's because it was a black. No, it was about one thing. It's called greed and money. The black community kept their money in their area, and it circulated 35 times before it left the neighborhood, and they wanted a part of that money. Understand that. That, my darlings, is greed. That's our government. That's our media. That's big business. And they're in bed together, twisting everything. They did it again to the American Indians. Who do you think broke the treaties? You honestly think it was the Indians? Every time the Indians did a treaty with America, America broke the treaty. It was the government and the press. Even the press way back then never printed the truth. Always printed a lie. Was against the Indians for the government. Over and over and over. See, it didn't happen to just the Indians. Also happens to the Asian. If you go, you'll find bills, executive orders that says Asians could not have property. They actually had bills and executive orders so Asians couldn't own property. Even if someone said you can farm on my land, it was against the law. So don't tell me what the government can't do, because they've already done a lot. Okay? Now, another executive order. A Mormon can be killed. You could just walk up and shoot a Mormon, and that was okay, because that was an executive order. A German American, not a German from Germany, but a German American who's been here, who still speaks German, if you got caught speaking German, you could be shot and killed on spot. This is our government, and the media, the newspapers printed it like wildflower. They didn't care. They had one agenda and one agenda alone. See, this reaches way back. And it's time for us to reach way forward to understand they're doing it today. Media causes riots. Riots. And a riot is what destroyed a black neighborhood who was more wealthy than Beverly Hills in 1920. But it wasn't just that neighborhood. You need to check out all the riots that went down. They had a lot of them. And the media pushed them to a riot. See, this is what I want America to wake up to. They're doing it today. They have done it today. They don't care what the truth is. Matter of fact, I don't even think they know what the truth is. And that goes the same for our government. Now, this happened way back then, and you're thinking, well, no, folks. Do you remember the internment camps happened to the Japanese American? I'm not talking about Japanese from Japan. I'm talking about born here in America. Japanese. Put in internment camps. Now, I know you're probably thinking, well, it was because of the war. Really? Really, folks? You're not that stupid. Our government can come up with some crazy stuff, but you can't believe everything. That, my darling, was by executive order. And they didn't just put Japanese in internment camps. You had Irish, you had German, and Italians. But hey, some of the German Americans got kicked to Germany. Yeah, see, they don't tell you all the little bitty truths that goes on. It is time for you to wake up, because the government owns the media. There is no truth in the media. The media is so afraid of the truth, or they're just afraid of not getting a paycheck. Eventually their conscience will catch up to them, because right now there's not a truthful one out there. They're all a bunch of big liars. Because I'm going to tell you this. Benghazi is not a lie, folks. If those were my sons and daughters, I would want to know the truth. I would want to know how they died and why they died. I would want to know, because I gave birth to them. I want to know why my government left my son there to die a horrifying death. I would want to know. And that means Hillary Clinton. She's not the person who you think she is. Oh, I'm going to pick up the phone call in the middle of the night. No, you didn't do it then. If you honestly think that the media is on our side, you're wrong. You are so wrong. It's not on our side. It will never be on our side. The notion revolves around the media accepting of the government official positions on subject. Once a government agency has taken official position, the mainstream media, especially the networks, news, will not challenge. They won't challenge our government. They won't challenge it. This is not just an observant. This is an unwritten policy confirmed by several seasons reporter. The dumb, deaf, and blind acceptance of an official press release from the government fits very nicely into the American way of life. Do as little as necessary to get a paycheck. As your rights are being taken away, I hope you're okay with it. And if you think that I'm making it up, I want you to look up something. I want you to look up the EPA. I want you to look up the EPA and how far the government has gone to give a town back to the American Indians. But those 10,000 people who live there, who's paid their taxes, and now could be on the end of losing it all. The EPA's long arm reach, out of control government. Big government is out of control. Think about that. That could be you. That could be your town. I'm telling you, they're out of control. This is not about being black, white, green, purple, whatever. It's about being an American. This is an American problem. Our government is too big for their pants. And most Americans don't see it. If you don't think that they can come after Christians, have you not been listening? We are the next target. We are the next target. And the toleration of it all should alarm you to death. It should just alarm you. Propaganda is what our government does. Now, where have we heard that name before? Oh, I know, Nazi Germany. Nazi Germany. Remember when the kids were supposed to spy on the parents and go back and tell the SS officers? Well, welcome to a new America. I just found a report of a school in Wisconsin that asked the kids to spy on their parents and come back and tell the school. You see, America, if you don't wake up, we're going to end up just like Germany. Afraid of our own shadow, afraid of our own kids. Our kids are reporting us. That's not how it's, that's not a family. Who taught them that they can report us? We're the one who gave them birth. But the government wants to take them over. The government wants to reshape their mind. The government wants to take over the schools. So you need to understand, this is not just about anything. This is about everything. Everything that this country stands for. Again, I really want you to read the 10th Amendment. Read it loud, read it clear to yourself. And I want you to post it. I want you to fax it, email it to every senator and every congressman. Let them know you know what is up. And if they do not serve you, it's time for you to reelect someone else who will. But the big lie keeps going. Because it's not just about the EPA. I want you to think about this. In the day, the government allowed the KKK, I want you to hear this, who was formed by the Democrats, sorry Democrats, you got to know your own truth, to keep blacks from voting. Yes, to keep them from voting. The government, what did they do? Absolutely nothing. But the news, the media, they were on the other side of this. Oh, yeah. You see, even back then, the media wasn't on the right side. You have to understand the media is going to be on whatever side they doomed or deemed necessary. And that's the truth. So now my question to you is, what are you going to do about it? What's the difference between America media, socialism, communism, if they use the same technique? Propaganda. Because propaganda is a form of communication aimed towards influencing the attitudes of a community towards some cause or positive position by presenting only one side of an argument. Propaganda statements may be partly false, partly true. Propaganda is also used repeatedly to disperse over a wide variety of media in order to create the chosen results in an audience attitude. See, that's what they did to cause the riots in that neighborhood. That's what they did to cause all riots. They whipped up the people to where they had riots. And I'm going to show you pictures of what happened. There's pictures of the riot. There's pictures of what happened to the Asians, the Japanese. What about the Irish? In the newspaper it print, do not apply if you're Irish. That was just blatant. Mormons, Germans, Indian, black. Everyone was on the chopping block. And the next chopping block is Christianity. And if you don't think I'm telling the truth, really look into it, because they don't even want you having a Bible study or a prayer group at your house because you may be improperly zoned, but yet you can have a loud party there. What about praying outside on the sidewalk? Oh, many pastors got arrested for that. Yeah, you see, Christians, if they could do an executive order for the Japanese, they definitely can do an executive order for Christians. And who's to say they won't? Who's to say? Can you 100% say they won't? They've been trying to take the rights away from Christians for a long time, and they are succeeding. Anytime a government starts saying things like, you can't capture rainwater. Now, the last time I checked, I didn't think that the government owned the rain. I didn't think the government made it rain. If they did, they're doing a sucky job of it, because California and a lot of places are in drought. Maybe that's a way of God is saying, if you're going to own the rain, make it rain. Sorry, government, it's God's job, not yours. And the more and more you take God out of things, the more and more this country is going to suffer for it. You got kids reporting on parents. You got the school trying to take over being a parent. You got the media telling no truth, big lies to cover up the government. You got the government trying to cover up big business. In order to take away our freedom, the real truth of the matter. How much freedom are you really, really, really ready to let go of? Think about that. This is a republic. It is not theocracy. We are not run by a king. The president is there because of us, not because of himself. Now, sure, he was elected, and not all of us elected him. And he hasn't done a very good job at all. And I hate to tell you, it's about to get a little bit worse. But that's the truth. I want you to wake up, because there's going to be more riots coming, and that's going to do to the media. The media is going to set a frenzy out, and I don't want you to fall for it. I don't want you to fall for everything the media is leaking to you, because the media knows no truth. This is the voice of twisting, telling you that watch out. The big government, big lie, no truth. They're twisting everything to suit their fancy. Read the 10th Amendment for yourself. This is the voice. Good night. Good night. Good night.